Hi everyone, I'm Nadia and I'm speaking tonight to the infamous Maydad Ronan. And Maydad runs his own footprint retreat, and we're going to discuss that and how you can come along, give you a little bit more detail. But also we're going to be speaking about the Honey and Handsome Time retreat. Maydad, how you doing?
I'm great, Nadia. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to be talking about the retreats again.
Yes, I am too. It's drawing close, and we've got some dates booked, which we can talk about later. But yeah, my son's just at the door.
All
Close the
right,
door, please.
awesome. Let's go. Or we'll just go. And how are you doing, mate, Dad?
I'm doing excellent, Nadia. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So before you tell us about your programs and what got you started with the footprint retreats and that sort of stuff, tell me what it's all really about.
Wow. Look, that's a really cool question, Nadia, because when I put this all together, I try to look back at the past 20, 23 years where I've been able to travel the world. I've been to America like a dozen times. I've been to New Zealand a dozen times. And I traveled all over Australia to different workshops and seminars. And we were in one only the other week where we met the founder of Boost Juice, what's her name? Jenny Ellis.
Janine
And
Ellis.
Janine Ellis and um, Aaron Sansoni at the Entrepreneur Summit. And during the past 20, 23 years, I've been able to meet some incredible people, not just in boxing, but just networking through different streams, some great minds. And one of those people, especially my teacher, my mentor was Jimmy Williams, who died at the age of 92 years of age. And he was a great performer. He used to perform with Cindy Pontier, Miles Davis, Nina Horn. He was a Hall of Fame boxing teacher, and he was born in 1927, and he was he grew up in segregated times and that. And when he passed away, I realized that all the time that I'd known him and that he'd been teaching me and mentoring me, that he was laying down his own footprints for me to learn and laying down a foundation for me to follow, I should say. And so when he was no longer there, and when he'd passed away, that it would be my turn to lay down my own footprints and run my race and share that with all the special people that came into my life. So when my time was over, they could run their own race and walk their own path and lay down their own footprints for others to follow. And that it really was what footprints was all about or is all about and came about together for me.
That's amazing. And it's truly inspirational when you can look up to somebody like that. And I know that you do have some kids looking up to you in the gym and with what you do as well. So thank you for sharing. And so what can people expect at the Footprints Retreat?
The footprints retreat. Well, this is the great thing about the great thing about the footprints retreat, and I say this, and I've actually been thinking about it today. That anybody that comes to the footprints retreat should expect to walk away 25% wiser and 25% being able to improve their quality of life 25% better. And what I mean by that is not just with their trajectory and learning more a little bit behavioral science and NTT and all that stuff that we talk about, but learning to breathe better because we have a breath coach, as you know, Dave Pemberton, who teaches the 𝑯𝒂𝒏𝒅𝒄 method. And then we have a nutritionist, Nikki Revelman, who talks about diet, nutrition, gut health, sleep deprivation, and all this great information, top nuggets that people can get a chance to take home. There's a yoga session that they can indulge in, and that's done early in the morning on the beach down here at Bondi Beach. They have ice baths and that. They have group workouts, but the whole retreat, the whole event from day one to the climax of the event, which is the last day, which is a major breakthrough, which there gives participants a chance to look back on what they've written down on their karate board that they're going to be breaking through. Any modalities, any negative beliefs, anything that they feel like is holding them back. And during that course of 3-day retreat, they consistently are reminded to be mindful of their trajectory and their behavioral patterns. And that's why I really believe most people walk away at least adding better, at least 25%, I should say, better quality to their life.
Yeah, definitely. So 25% is quite a lot, really, once you think about it. So a lot of people don't know how to breathe, and they don't know how their nutrition and, naturopathy affects, their life and how they function and that sort of stuff. So Dave
That's
Pemberton talks about sleep as well as breathing, and Dave and Nick both um, talk from experience as well, don't they?
Yeah, they're very knowledgeable. Like myself, looking back when I say 25%, even when I run the retreat, I find myself walking away from the retreat and like adding quality to my life, adding quality to the getting quality sleep, eating better, just by listening to Dave Pemberton talk, just by listening to Nikki Ravelman talk, just by spending time with these people. And I think for somebody who hasn't been to something like this, even people who have been to retreats and have done some workshops and that, this is such a great way to rejuvenate. And what a great way to do it at Bondi Beach.
Definitely. And so I don't think we've discussed this question that I'm going to ask you, but how do you feel knowing you get to facilitate such a retreat yourself?
Well, I'm not going to say really empowering, because I mean it's a beautiful feeling. Empowering probably comes with it because you're sharing part of your legacy with people, part of your vision, and you put this program together, and to see it come to fruition, to see people enjoy themselves, interact like the corporate group that we had not so long ago, where they were doing team building and that, and at the end, like they expressed how much they liked it, and they sent us all the emails and great reviews of the event. But just being able to, if I could say, give birth to something that I thought about deeply for such a long time, and being able to share different parts of my life, because yoga, breath work, nutrition, um, the vision session is all empowered with different stagnated areas of my life that I believe can contribute to somebody else's.
Yeah, definitely. And you were talking about it a few years ago when we first met, and I think that's one of the things that really attracted me to, help you with all of the retreats and that sort of stuff is that your passion behind, helping people and you made it happen, and I'm super pleased to be involved.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think people keep asking, "What's your passion for? What do you get out of this so much?" Well, it's great being able to earn a wage, but what's really beautiful is to see transformational changes with people. You know, and it's not just losing weight or just feeling great, but really, behavioral science is such a powerful thing because it can lead to a lot of complications. And when you get this wired up properly, everything just flows, and that's the buzz. That's great to see.
Yeah, definitely. And what made so like going from one retreat to another now, but what made you come up with the Honey and Handsome retreat?
Yeah, Nadia, look, about 3 years ago, I was involved in a group. It's called High Performance Dads. Um, it's now called HPF, High Performance Father, and it was something I got involved with because I wanted to learn more about my autoimmune disease because they had a nutritionist there and a specialist there. But as I got into it, I realized the struggle that men have in relationships, especially after marriage, after the child's kids are born, and the trajectory and dynamics in a relationship, how they continuously change, and what they struggle with ongoing to make it work, to keep the light going, to keep the fire, I should say, the spark going, and to keep a relationship in harmony. And this is how I came up with the Honey and Handsome Time retreat. I recently trained a real estate entrepreneur who rang me out of the blue, and I think we've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
And he shared his hurdles in life. And I basically asked him how his day was and if he could give me a map of what his day was really like. And he told me that he'd been drinking too much coffee and he'd be taking drugs and stimulants to stay awake at his office, and that he really didn't have a great connection and a relationship with his wife or his family. And when he got home, everybody was walking on eggshells. He was overweight, etc. So I took him on board. We had a session that was called a walk and talk session, and we have another session that was a workout session. And during the week, he'd go and work out by himself, and we talk over things. And he was able to lose about 19 kilos. And during that time, I got him to create Honey and Handsome Time at once a week. So one day a week, he would come back from the work early and he'd take his wife to a local cafe, sit down, they'd have breakfast, and I'd get him to talk to her about what Johnny was doing at school, how he was doing at school, how Sally was doing with her homework, how she was doing at netball and dance practice, how Johnny was doing at rugby or soccer, etc. And he was able to get involved and show that he really cared and he was interested. He just didn't have time, but he made time. He was able to come back from work earlier and not spend long nights at auctions and not have to work on Saturdays for open homes and all that stuff. And as a result, not only was he able to lose the weight and that, he was able to reignite the relationship that he once had with his wife. When he returned home, his kids were no longer walking on eggshells and that. And I realized, look, there's something in this Honey and Handsome Time. And it's something that I've always implemented in my relationship, Nadia. In coming home once a week and taking Linda out to a local cafe, whether it was the Baker's Bar or Gustav Cafe or a nearby cafe where we could sit down, have a little sandwich, have some brunch, have a cup of tea, and talk about what's going on in her life, what's going on with the kids, what have we got to look forward to. And that way, we sort of like on the same page. And that really was an important change in my relationship. And I believe it's also important for everybody's relationship.
It really is, and it doesn't need to be expensive as well. So I am hearing a lot from some of my clients, especially in the relationship space, that they don't have time to date their husbands and wives, and they don't have time or money to go out and do something. But even a picnic in the park is enough, like with the food that you've already what you have already, or let the kids go play on the beach, and then that Honey and Handsome Time has to be special.
It
So
does. You know, Nadia, sorry to interject, but I want to share something with you. Most men will do anything they can to find a woman. So they'll put on a cologne, they'll dress well, they'll get a haircut, they'll work out at a gym, they'll drive a nice car, they'll do whatever they can, they'll dine her out, etc. But once they find a woman and they're with her for a long time, a lot of that will go away. And it really is a shame, because why not continuously invest in that? Invest in
that's
your
right.
wellness, invest in her wellness. Make the time, block time out to take her out to dinner, to go and watch a movie. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant, it just needs to be something that shows that you care, that you get to spend quality time together, talk, listen to what the other one has to share. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes when that's lost, that's when relationship dynamics fall into a rut, and from there, bigger problems occur.
Definitely. And one thing that I've learned from hearing your stories about the real estate guy, and just your inspiration of taking Linda out to a cafe or something. I've actually come back to my partner Dave, and I've told him that I want Honey and Handsome Time, and I don't care what it is, but as long as it doesn't involve a computer, not the phone. We have to go and do something absolutely different to what we do every day. And that's actually improved my relationship as well. So thank you.
No, you're welcome. And like I learned this somewhere. We're all learning something from each other. But like when we create these special moments, and this is what it's really all about. It may only be going to a cafe. It may be an intimate moment. Whether it's physical or just in a conversation. It
Yeah.
really is something that helps you bond more. And this is what relationship really is all about for me with my wife. And I believe it's probably the same for most partners.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Actually, I just had a little shiny moment. Bonding in Bondi should be the next retreat we create.
Bonding in Bondi.
Bonding in Bondi.
Bondi bond.
Bondi bonding.
Yeah.
Anyway, shiny things. We can probably get the Bondi Surf Club to come and sponsor that one. We'll get everyone bonding down on Bondi. What do you think?
Yeah, I should talk to some of the people at the surf club about that.
Yeah,
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 presidents.
that's right. And what can people expect when they attend the Honey and Handsome Time retreat?
Well, as you know, the Honey and Hanson time retreat is for couples to help rejuvenate and create special moments together. And from that, obviously, go home and a lot more. And what they can expect is to turn up on the day and spend some really good quality time with like-minded couples. The days started where they check in at the gym at Bondi Boxing Gym, and then we walk down to the beach before sunrise. And Amelia, the yoga instructor and teacher, does a yoga session on the beach before sunlight, and they get to enjoy that with breath work, stretching, and different yoga techniques. Where then we walk back to the gym, have a cup of tea and a few beverages before we get involved and get together for a group fitness session, human movement session with me and some of the other trainers. And that runs for 45 minutes before we have another break. And that is then followed by a vision session. And the vision session is all about their trajectory, their ability to really look within, educating them about their submodalities and internal representation, because really we are what we perceive. So the way you are wired up has a lot to do with how you perceive things, how you react to things, and how you go on really about your day and how you perceive the world. So that's what the vision session is all about. At that particular point, they will also be given a board to write any modalities or anything they feel that they need to break through, or perhaps they feel that they need to work on because they're not being giving the best of themselves in their relationship. And at the end of the session, we're going to be doing a major breakthrough session. I'll get to that. But once we've done that and that vision session is over, they get to go out and have a beautiful lunch at Up South Cafe across the road. And they make amazing food from detoxing smoothies, acai bowls, vegan meals, you name it. And once lunch is over, obviously they come back, and this is a really great part of this retreat. Lizzie Abrahams, who's a psychotherapist and a relationships expert, gets to talk to them and share with them about relationship dynamics, family dynamics, and just everything that she's like a world of knowledge. She's an expert at her field, and that's a session that's not to be missed. It's probably one of the main sessions of the retreat because it accompanies so much about relationships. And if they have any questions they want to ask, and obviously at the end of it, if they want to catch up with her and follow it up in person, they can. The retreat is then finally brought together where they all come together and have they do like team building activities, and obviously the winning couple will get a prize. They get a personal training session and onboarding a neural transformation therapy call valued at over $250 from myself. And the climax of this retreat is when they get to break through their modality. So they do a major breakthrough and break through karate boards, and all the couples hover around where they motivate, encourage the person breaking the board to break the board. And once they've broken the board, they've all going to cheer them on, clap them on, and they get to take that board home with them with their modalities that they've broken through with them. But I mean, there's so much more to say. That is the bulk of it to this day.
That's an amazing lineup, and all of these small things paint the bigger picture, doesn't it? So, the mindset and being able to understand, like look within to know yourself so that you can be there for your partner. And because you're both doing it together, it's just an amazing, rejuvenating session throughout the whole day.
It is. And not only are you working together as a team and supporting one another, each partner is feeling validated by the other. And different things come up in the course of the retreat, questions. And I'm sure those questions, all those questions that they have can be answered. A lot of them could be answered by Lizzie Abrams, and at the same time, questions that they may ask each other. That
Yeah,
can bring them closer, and maybe they can get more clarity. Because look, like I said, a lot of men will do anything to get into a relationship, and once they get into a relationship and the babies are born and the dynamics in the relationship are changed, where the father doesn't feel like he's number one, where he becomes number three because the first baby is born and then the wife is second. And then the second baby is born and then the father feels like number four, like I do. But it takes a lot of mindfulness and at times work like this and attending retreats, seminars, such as the Honey and Handsome retreats, to understand and to possibly better service yourself, and in doing so, better service your family
yeah.
and keeping that spark going in the relationship.
Definitely. And a lot of people think, woe is me, I'm not getting what I need out of the relationship. But if you can see how the relationship works, just even in the name, relation means more than one, the communication between more than one person. So you can't be in a relationship without having that other person. In saying that, you can have a good relationship with yourself, but then you have to see yourself as another person as well. So, yeah. So I believe we have some dates locked in for Sydney.
We do, Nadia, and we do, and who knows, we may even do one in Adelaide, as you and I have been speaking about. Maybe you can share with them the dates that are coming up in November, 16th November, I believe it is.
Yeah, so the 16th of November is the date for Sydney. It's at Bondi Beach, and you'll be joined by the amazing Lissy Abrahams as well. I can give you the landing page. So in the comments, you'll find the landing page, and the phone number, which I keep forgetting, is 0881660487, and that's also on the website as well. So footprintscoach.com.
Awesome. I'm really looking forward to that one, Nadia. It's something that's been in the works for quite some time that you and I have been talking about, and it's coming to fruition. And just like to, to have to have couples there and just see their transformation, see them interact, and have an amazing time. With the yoga sessions, having lunch and talking and mingling with others, and just obviously, the team challenges that we have and stuff like that. And I find those exercises are so empowering in a relationship because I don't know if you've ever watched The Amazing Race where couples do it together. They either make them or break them. And
Yeah.
this is just a 1 day event, but it's a fun session. It's only an hour session, and they do little challenges and that. So really looking forward to that, Nadia. And yeah, looking forward to anybody who wants to call or DM us and ask us any questions.
Yeah,
Call in.
definitely. I'm just sharing my screen now. So this is our friend Lucy Abrahams, and she's an amazing relationship expert. And then we've got their
Yeah, wow.
smoothies,
This
and
is a
they're made
detoxing
by,
smoothie.
yeah, they're made
Sorry,
by
Nadia.
Nick Revelman across the
Oh
road.
no, they're made by Nikki Revelman is their nutritionist at the Health Emporium, but those smoothies are made at the Health Emporium by the girls there, and they are to die for. Um,
Amazing. It looks
Absolutely
great,
delicious.
doesn't it? And
Wow.
this is what you can have for lunch. And I'm like, every time I see this picture, I think, oh my God, I really need to go there. And I was in Sydney a couple of weeks ago and I was dying to go there. And my boyfriend and I didn't even know that the City to Bay was on. So we didn't actually get to Bondi to have that amazing lunch.
That's in Up South Cafe, and that meal there is actually called the Vegan Feast, and it's got poppy seeds, sesame seeds, avocado, almonds, tomatoes, cucumbers, spinach. It's got mushrooms, sauerkraut, pumpkin. It's just delicious, as you can see.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. And this is our friend David Pemberton, our breathwork
Yes,
coach.
that's right.
Pretty
Amazing.
awesome guy. Yeah, yeah. I've met him a couple of times and we've been talking on Facebook, so looking forward to meeting him in person.
Yeah, we did a
And
Zoom session with him, and he's so knowledgeable about the Batiko breathing method. And this is so empowering, working, listening to Dave speak, one of our speakers, and he talks about nasal breathing and why we are born meant to be nasal breathing and not mouth breathing, that we're only supposed to be eating food with our mouth and talk with our mouth. And that ability that we can get 25 or more percent better quality filtered air by nasal breathing.
yeah, definitely. You wouldn't even think about it like that. The the biology of humans, like all the little fur in your nose that we all pluck out and we cut off and that sort of stuff. It's actually got a purpose. So
It sure does. Roger Federer. Roger Federer has a sleep coach, which is all related to his nasal breathing and everything that he does. But he has a sleep coach that he takes on his tour all the time, and he does not get less than 12 hours, 11 to 12 hours sleep every night. And this is
yeah,
how much getting good quality deep REM sleep is so important
yeah, it really
for
is.
us.
And next we have, this is Nick Revelman. She's our nutritionist and naturopath. So
That's
she
correct.
can tell you all the science behind food and nutrition and gut health and how important it is to sleep and breathe and all of those things as well. So very talented science lady she is. And then,
Amazing.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
like this is just pure punishment. Who would do this?
Oh, this is
Ice
the ice
bath.
bath, Nadia. I love it. And look, there's a benefit to everything. We all know about your parasympathetic state and your synthetic state, and how we all are driving through every day and just left in a really stressed, always pushing and pushing and pushing. And what we really need to do is tap into our parasympathetic state, which puts us in a rest and digest mode. And in doing so, it allows us to reset our uh, nervous system. And this is a great way not only to reduce inflammation, but just to chill out. Ice baths are amazing. I mean, they've been around for ages, and people have talked about it, different things with Wim Hof and breathing methods, etc. But this is a place called Nimbus on Bondi Road, which is not far from the gym that I take people to in on the Footprints retreat, and after the session, we all go and have some detoxing smoothies and acai bowls, and it's just an amazing day, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I look forward to the acai bowls.
Oh,
And of
delicious.
course, we have the yoga on the beach, and
With
that
the
just
million,
looks
yeah.
amazing. Yeah. So I really look forward to hosting all the people that are going to come and do the retreat, whether it is the Footprints retreat or the Honey and Handsome Time retreat. I think you had a special offer for people that are going to buy into
The Footprints.
the Footprints retreat. Yep.
Yes, and don't forget Adelaide too. So
So
hopefully we'll do one. This is what we're working towards. But yeah, if anybody buys into the Footprints retreat, them and their partner both get a free ticket to the Honey and Handsome retreat that we're running. So it's a great opportunity to come on board, do the Footprints retreat, and then get a free ticket for you and your partner at the Honey and Handsome Time retreat. So no excuses, guys. Come on.
no
If you want to
excuses at
learn
all.
more about it, what a great way to embody so much information and take all these great nuggets with you and apply it to your life. And like I said, most people walk away with being able to implement 25% better quality to their life. Is it worth it?
I think so. I think there is so much action-packed, intense, reinvigorating information that they can get from this amazing, well, these two amazing retreats in itself. And yeah, so once again, if you go to footprintscoach.com, you can get the information for both of those retreats, or you can give us a call on 08 8166 0487, and I'll be answering those phone calls. I am the crazy lady that gives out the hugs, so I am looking forward to hugging you all there. And thank you so much again, Maydad. This is amazing and exciting stuff that everybody needs.
No, thank you. And it's great chatting to you tonight. Looking forward to all the programs that we have um, lined up, and just looking forward to going to Melbourne as well to do the summit with you. So really exciting. And for everybody that's watching this, take care. Have an amazing evening, and we look forward to hearing from you.